Now, as Ganga medal Visarjan by our sporting heroes was called off, stunning revelation by top government sources in the wrestlers' protest. Here are the 10 counter-strikes against wrestlers by the centre, accessed exclusively by India Today.
Flowing tears, a volatile crowd, and a wave of anger. Armed with their pride and joy, they threatened to fling their medals into River Ganga. But when there was no reaction from the government, it was farmer leader Naresh Tiketh who had to step in to stop the champs, convincing them to issue a 5-day ultimatum to the government. On the face of it, the government says it's following all due process in the case, despite no arrest of the WFI chief Brij Bhushan Sharan Singh, even though he has stepped aside from daily workings of the federation. But a quiet counter-strike to rebut the wrestlers on facts could be afoot. For starters, top government sources insist that the most glaring hole in the allegations is that the wrestlers did not register a complaint earlier, even though the alleged incidents took place 7 years ago. Sources then point out that as soon as the champs started their protest in January this year, 2 days of extensive discussions were held between sports ministry officials to understand the issue. An oversight committee was formed with members suggested by the wrestlers added to the committee. Sources then point out that the oversight committee heard every complainant and everything that was deposed was video recorded, with all material collected then handed over to the Delhi police for further investigation, including Brij Bhushan's own deposition. Since then, the Delhi police has registered 2 cases against Brij Bhushan Sharan, with due process since being followed. Sources point out that the government is viewing the situation as the wrestlers being emboldened by an amenable administration and pushing for more demands. The same sources point out that the wrestlers were allowed to protest in a prohibited area for 38 days with all amenities, even after an FIR was filed. No action was taken during their candlelight march either. The first action by the police, the sources point out, took place when the wrestlers deliberately tried to breach security at the new parliament on Sunday, an area that was under section 144, a wanton breaking of the law. While each aspect of the protest appears to be stage managed by someone familiar with virality and emotional effect, the view within the government is a firm one, that the wrestlers may have won laurels for the nation, but must follow the law like all other citizens. No one is above the law. For instance, Olympic wrestler Sushil Kumar is in prison for murder. His feats and the national pride he instilled could not save him from the law. Finally, government insiders point out that the threat to throw medals into the Ganga is an act of extreme insensitivity, entitlement and arrogance, since the medals don't belong to the athletes alone, but also their support staff, coaches, trainers and multiple others, not to mention the fact that much of their training has been at taxpayers' expense. With the 5-day countdown ticking, will there be a break in this impasse, or will things escalate more towards a fast unto death at Delhi's India Gate? Bureau Report, India Today.